Okay, so we'll start now. So in the last session, we discussed about the modulation technique. What are the modulation technique available in SAP and how do we perform that? So we have taken the list of total 4 techniques. We are not using the class methods. So we'll be using subroutines, includes function modules, class methods. Okay. So these techniques we'll be using and yesterday we have started with subroutines. So we have seen some example how to use the subroutines, how to send the data uh, with the help of perform and write the logic inside the form and form. So we can send the variables as well. Okay, and then we are sending how to use the using parameters along with the changing parameters. So these two kind of parameters we do. Okay, so what are using parameters and what are changing parameters? We saw that. Changing parameters like we can send the value inside that and we can retrieve the value as well, and using parameters we use only to send the values in inside that method or subroutines. Okay. So this is the main difference. One more thing is that if you are not passing anything, like when we created this perform or subroutine, that time we have not used any parameter here, like we can use some kind of value or referencing. So what are those things actually? So we have two kind of parameters available. One is uh, subroutine with values and subroutines with reference. Okay, uh, parameter with reference, parameter with value. So this might have read and studied in C or plus plus. There we have also parameters like send the value with value and send with reference. So reference means it holds the address and the value means it holds the value of that parameter which we are sending. Okay, so today we'll be seeing how to use the parameter with the help of value and how to use with the help of reference. Okay. So yesterday we have seen that one, that is mostly if you are not mentioning anything, okay, then it behaves like parameter with reference actually. Okay, so hope this much is clear. Till yesterday we have learned this much. If you guys have any doubt, you can post your question here. I can take that question and then I can help you to understand that. If no question, then we can move on to the next topics. Okay, how to use it as a value or how to use it as a reference things. Okay, so if I have to use it as a reference, okay, then what we do is, and how to see whether it's a reference or value. Okay, so we'll be taking some simple examples, so it will be more of clear actually. Okay, so just let's forget this piece of code which we have written over here. Okay, so I'll be commenting out the code. So let's go out and I'll comment this piece of code which is not required for now. We'll be using a simple some variables and try to change some values and all those things. We'll try to do it, and if required we'll use the table kind of data for the value and referencing. Okay, so if I simply check it, so it should not give me any error. Okay, it says this is not there, then comment the whole code because we are not going to utilize it now. Okay, and check if any error. Okay, so some field get still available. I think in this include which we have created. Yeah, so now the program is blank. Okay, and let's create try to use value pass by value method and pass by reference thing. Okay, so how to use it? Okay, so let's create some example here. So if I create type I'll be creating one line actually. Okay, line means that we have seen this in DDIC, right? With type table of type line of, so that thing begin of. Okay, line. Simply I'm just using type begin of line. Then we'll be using like name. Then we can take the name as some 10 character. Okay, or 20 characters. Then mobile number. Okay, so mobile number can be 10. Okay, then end of line. So we have created this structure. Now we'll be creating table or structure kind of thing, okay, with the data. Then I can say like what name we can give. We can give something like customer info, okay, customer info type. We can give the line, okay. We are not creating any table thing actually, okay. We are giving that only, line only. So that's all. So if you want to create kind of table thing, then we have to give type table of, right? So that we are not giving here, and then we'll be using. Let's fill some information in this type. Okay, how to fill the information we have seen yesterday. We can directly give and then hyphen, and then the fields will be available. So if I want to use name, so I'll say uh, ABC. Okay, and then mobile number we can say. Let's fill some number like all nines. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, this is the mobile number. So we have filled that structure value in that. Okay, and then let's try to write this. Okay, how to write or how to print it in the main screen is we can directly use this field name. Okay, and then it can be written in the output screen. So write, okay, customer name comma mobile number. Okay, so if you just simply write it, what it will do, it will write the mobile name and along with the mobile number with some space, okay, like 1 to 1. See, so ABC and then name. Why we are getting this much spaces? Because we have taken it as 20 character, right? So this much spaces we need taken. Now let's suppose I want to send this information to a method or to subroutine, sorry, and then wants to write this thing inside that subroutine, okay. So how to use that thing? So we have seen yesterday how to use that. So we can create some kind of perform, okay, and then I'll say like write, okay, and then we can send the parameter. So we have seen the parameter like using, and we can send this work area. So it's behaving like a work area, okay. It's a kind of line thing, and it's behaving like a work area. We are creating this, we have created this as a work area, okay. So line is don't get confused with line thing. We can use anything, okay, but if you're not giving type table of and if you're giving only type, it behaves like a work area, okay. So we are just filled two information in the work area, and then we are passing that work area information to this subroutine, okay. So using this, so with this help we can create one subroutine. So if I just double click on that write statement, okay, we can give any name, okay. So here also again we are getting two options which we have seen yesterday, that either we can create it in our main program itself, or we can create a new include. So let's create it in our main program only, okay. So if I click on that, blog will be created automatically with that right form, okay. And then here we can write, what we can write here is we have got this information in this step, because it's a by default it's giving me a reference kind of thing, okay. So here we have to write this logic actually, so to access the information inside that method actually, okay. So this, okay, and then now we have to give the type. And why we are giving type is because we have to tell which kind of uh, parameter it is. It's a type table of, it's a type variable, or some kind of type it is available. So we have created with line, right? So line only we can give here, okay. With the help, this will identify which kind of parameter we are going to send here, okay. So if I give the type line, so let's see, okay, it will give me the error here. So p underscore c. Now we are able to see, okay, which fields are available in this line. So one was name and comma. So we have to give two times change statement we have to give, and then we can copy and then paste the next thing also, okay. So mobile number. So now we are printing this with the help of our subroutine, okay. And if you want to some print some, do some calculation and then printed, that also you can do in the subroutine. So if we try to print this information, what it will print is whatever the information which we have sent here, right? ABC and 999. So it's writing here. Along with that, it will write here also. So if I print it in now, right? If I just simply execute the program, it will print the value two times. Okay. So if I just execute, see, it has printed the value two times, ABC, then 999, ABC, and 999. Okay, so we have used this as a value in our subroutines. Okay, now let's suppose I want to change the value. Okay, and then print this value inside that method. Okay, so let's see that. So now we had sent ABC and 999. Okay, now I'm changing the values of this parameter. Okay, so how we can change this? Simply take this and go to the next line and give the name equals to xyz. Okay, we have taken earlier abc and now xyz. With that again, we'll change the mobile number also, and now we'll take the mobile number as all eights. Okay, so there is no nothing wrong, and then again print the same information. Okay, we can print the same information again here in this sign in this system actually. Okay, so, and if I no, we do not require this p, and because we want to see what values is being changed here actually. Okay, so we have used as a p which is going, see, this was the actual parameters which we have sent like as a customer information. Okay, inside that what we sent is we sent the name and mobile number, and then we are changing the values of those thing, and then let's see what comes again in this statement actually. Okay, and we can call save it and check it and activate it. So let's see what is the output coming here. Okay, so if I just press F88, see the value got changed. Why the value was changed is like I told you, by default it works like value by reference. Like it only holds the address of the formal parameter which we are sending from the main program or any method or any function routine or somewhere you are using it. It holds the address. So if you're changing something inside this, then those main thing will also be get changed. Okay, the customer information will automatically gets changed. So for that, what you have to do is you have to give explicitly that you are not going to use as a reference. You have to use it as value. Okay, so how we can give is we can give value tab over here, and then give everything inside that value tab. Now, see, we have seen that change now. If I check now, okay, let's see that. If I press F8, see, all are 9999. So we have changed the value, but we have changed the value for what? P customer information, but we have not done like go and change the value again to that program and something. We have not done, right? We have used as a value. Okay, whatever the value we are sending from here, it came here, and then we change it, but we are not printing this value, right? So it does not matter to us. And then we are printing the main value which we have. Okay, hope it's a bit clear. And if you do this bit practice, it will come handy, and it's not a very hard concept to understand. Okay, so these we call it sending the parameters or thing is as a value parameters. Okay, now we have seen the reference also, like if you're sending it via reference, then the value gets changed automatically. Okay, for that we have to explicitly change the parameter, give the parameter name as a value thing. Okay, now we'll see one more example over here. What's that? See, there are so many variations available with the help of subroutine actually. Okay, so if we are doing that, then it will take a lot of time. But still, let's do some more thing. Okay, now we have one more parameter called changing. Okay, so changing also works like okay. Let's see that also. Okay, so if I send this information perform, okay, then I'll say write one using, and let's create one more data line, otherwise it will make us a bit confused. Okay, so that we can see the difference also. I'll create one customer information kind of work area. Okay, and then write perform using what, using we are using now changing. Okay, so we can use the changing parameter over here. Okay, so if I simply double click on that, okay, it will ask to create these subroutine in this object. So it will ask whether you want to create some include or the main program. So we'll use the main program itself for now. Okay, and then the block of code will be created over here. Okay, so now here we have to write our logic to make the things work actually. Okay, so let's see that how it's gonna work. Sorry. So what we have to do is that we are sending the information from this write statement, write one, and okay, we have not copied the values, right? So let's copy the value again to customer information one. Otherwise, the blank value will be going. And then, okay, now what we'll do is we'll change the value again inside that parameter. Okay, so the value first, let's write the value. Okay, like we have done in the last time. Okay, so we can just simply write the value here, copy paste, and change the name of p customer one. Okay, so now it will write the values. So let's see simply. Okay, first simply run it. And what, okay, so we got some error. Let's see what's the error is. We might have missed something. So p customer has no structure in there, so we forgot to tell the what kind of uh, object it is. So changing this and then type line, right? So we did last time. So let's check now. So there is no error this time. To make it more clear, what I'll do is we can write one statement here so that it will be more clear that, right, we are in changing subroutine, so that it will it will be easy to see actually when the output screen, otherwise the data will be mixed. Okay, if I simply run it, see here. So starting three values are the value which we have seen that as a value parameter we have sent. Now here we can see we are in the changing subroutines. Okay, so ABC and 999 was copied. So we have forgot to print it again. So let's print it also before calling this thing. Okay, so if I simply copy, and we can give the name so that we can give the same values also. Okay, simply change it, activate the code, and we will not get the third row this time because we have not written the logic for that part. Okay, why it is not being printed? Customer info name, mobile number, it's fine. Hmm, let's activate again and see. We are in the changing subroutine. Okay, no problem. And then perform. If I don't perform, we will let print. Okay, so it is not printing that value. What could be the error here? Okay, it's printing. Actually, we are missing it. It's printing 4 times here. So we have not given this some separator over here. So we'll give one line actually. Okay, we'll give one U line so that it will be more clear. So where we can give the line, we can give the line here before the parameter call. Okay, and then write. See, sometime when we are writing these kind of statement, we have to make sure that like when we're writing the classical things, so accordingly we have to adjust the things like the underline, vertical line, colors, and all those things. So we got some error. Okay, we can simply give the U line actually. So no need to give the right statement. It will automatically write the U line. See here. So starting 3 is coming here now. Let's enable that code. Activate it. Now 2 lines will be printed with the help of modularrization technique. Okay. So See, two lines are printed. Okay, we can remove this part actually, because this is not required anymore, because we have given the underline to differentiate which parameter we are in. Okay, and then what we can do is, now see here we try to change the value. So again, let's try to change the value here as well, and what it prints. Okay, so we'll see that also. So if I just simply go here and give customer info one and then print the same line over here. Okay, see, if you are doing the comparison, then only we will be able to understand clearly what is happening in the program. Okay, so that's the reason I'm not removing that code, and so that we can see the comparison. See, now we are doing the changing parameters. Okay, so changing means we are changing the value of the data which we have sent. Now the value which, see, the value got changed here. The value now is xyz. Now if I want to access this parameter again back to here, okay, in this main program, right? So here, if I try to access this data of this table line, then our new values will be reflected. But for this perform with the value, the new value will not be reflected. Okay, the old value itself, because we have used as a value part. So there are a lot of variation available for the subroutines, so that we will not be taking care. Okay, that you go and check and let me know if you're getting some error. Okay, around the 6 to 7 kind of variation are available, like changing and changing value parameters and all those things. It is available. You can do some, and I'll share some links to you for practice purpose. Okay, and that's all from the subroutine side. We mostly use these kind of thing. Changing, there are in methods we can pass some table data, we can get the table data. So those are some advanced actually concepts, so that we'll try to learn in upcoming classes. Okay, so this is all from the subroutine part. Okay, so now we have to see what are include programs. Okay, see, when we are creating the subroutines, we are getting an option to create in subroutines. Okay, so if I try to create one more write statement, okay, let's suppose same parameter and then write to. Okay, if I simply double click on that, it is asking me to create object, and then asking, do you want to create this include also inside that you place that code, or you put your code in the main program. So the best practice is you have to always put your code in the includes actually. Okay, but here I don't have to go again double click on that, so I use the demo thing, main program itself. So if I just click on that, okay, then it will say we are going to insert this in this write statement. Okay, fm, and then enter. Okay, and then here, see, now a new include has been created automatically. We have not created an include by going to the SE38, give the program type, and it has automatically created. If I'll see in the attribute tab, the description will also be automatically. See, include modules, and this already copied the same thing it has copied, and the type is include program. Mostly what we give is executable program, but here the type is include program. Okay, so it gets automatically created if we are choosing from there. Or what we can do is we can create our own, like mostly programs what people do is that they create their own include in the starting itself, like include, and give the some name actually, g and program name, like that. Okay, so that also they can create underscore f01. Simply we can create the include from the program also. So if I double click on that, okay, then it says there is no object available in the dictionary or create object. So if you simply create, we can give example and see here the type is include. It is not editable. Why? Because we have given the type already outside. So if we save it, go into local object. Okay, and then the include program will be created. It is a kind of placeholder which keeps your code, so that you can reuse that code in other programs, or uh, we can reduce the code in the main screen. Okay, so those kind of examples we use, and this is very useful when we have a large piece of code available. Then we can put so many blocks over here, and then it's easy to read the code, easy to debug the code, easy to what we call, when we just go one by one to the program or the program sequence, then it's very easy to do the things in the include thing. Okay, so let's try to do create one include. Okay, so includes are mostly if you're creating inputs over here, so these makes us globally accessible actually. So we can, whatever we are doing, that can be accessed globally, okay. But inside that, if we have some methods available, okay, that cannot be accessed globally, okay. So what does that mean is, see here, if we have created this demo, right, to right inside that we have created one method, right. So let me open that. See, we created this method which we have not used, okay. Then this cannot be accessed globally, okay. This can be accessed on site that fm inside that include only. But if you're declaring some variable, okay, like let's suppose if I'm declaring some variable over here, okay, before this form subform, if I'm declaring some kind of variable here, data and all, then that can be accessed globally, okay. So hope it's a bit clear. So let's try to create this part also, include how to create the include for some parameters, okay. So mostly we create three kind of includes in our programs. We can create more also. So include, if I go, one was like we create and we try to give the same name of the program, and then we create f01, okay, and then next we give s01. So and then we create one declaration or introduction, or I, we can give any name, depends on us, okay. We can give I also. So what we do is actually, so in the first one we store all our declaration, okay. So means, what does that mean actually? So we are creating a local structure, right, in the program, this structure which we have created. So we'll put that code in here. We created this uh, data, we created internal tables, right. We defined, we created some local variables. All those things are we can put in this demo I, okay. Then what is there in SE01, okay. So X0 means we give just a naming convention that all the selection screen includes, okay. Like we create one screen, right. So we can give that screen thing in S01, okay. So let's try to create that and we'll see that how it works, okay. So it says that nothing is agreed. So first let's create this one, okay. Let's create I and create, okay. We are not giving any description. If you want to change the description, that also possible. Local object, okay. So it's taking a bit time, yeah. So save it, and then what we'll do is we'll go back and copy that piece of code till here, because we have done the declaration, and then we'll put it inside this demo I. That's all. Save it and activate it. So there is some error, it's saying, let's see. Okay, S01 not found, because there are other inputs also available. So let's create everything and then we'll try to activate the code. Okay, so first one is created. Now let's create the second one. So if you want to create some screen, okay, so like suppose I am creating select options, okay, which was there earlier. Let me copy from the top. Okay, we created a select options. So we can directly come here, okay. So if I want to create a select option, see, first we declare the data, right? Then we create the select options. First, we have to declare the tables because we are using this thing. So see, now this table also we can declare in this one. No need to declare outside the program, or we can keep it here also. So I'll say Mara, okay, leave it, and then we can just take this piece of code. See, so we are just using only one parameter over here, but there is a possibility the screen has almost 10 to 15, okay, parameters. So if I just go to one standard program which you have might have seen that, okay, let me go there, okay. So if I go to this T code called MMBE, okay. So if you go to this T code called MMBE, so here, see how many items are there. See material number we can put plant number or storage location batch. We can give the check boxes. We can use some display. So these are putting in the block. So this is called one block. This is one block, and then this is one block. Okay. So this much parameters if you're creating. So we are writing that piece of code mostly in the include itself. Okay, so that it's easy to see the, okay, in this we have this select options available. So when we are declaring things now, it makes it easy to see the things and go through of the items actually. Okay, so if I go to that mode and then we have to create it. Okay, I have not saved that, that's the reason. Okay, so let me just first copy it, and then let's go to S01 and then save it locally. And includes program is not executable. What does that executable means? Like if we go to this program simply and then we cannot press F8, okay, that nothing will be coming up if you are using it. So only the report kind of programs are executable directly from the SE38 screen. Otherwise we need some T codes. Okay, so we created one select options. Okay, now go back. Now it will say that F01 is not there. If I simply check the syntax, okay, so it will say that okay, select option of parameters has already been defined. Okay, where it has been defined? Is it open somewhere? No, you might have missed something. Okay, we'll create one more parameter. Let's see that. Okay, so I'll give the as maternal one. Save it. Come back and check. See, now right to does not exist. So this is, we can delete it. Okay, we have not used this one. And again check. So that's how one by one we can remove all the errors. So there is no error now. It's just a warning, we can ignore it. Okay, for now. Then we have this much piece of code available in this system. Okay, still there is a lot of code available and we have not utilized this F01 and we have not created this also. Okay, so how we can use this one? See, this part we are seeing in the main screen. So whatever is there in the main screen can be created and can be used where we can use it in the main screen itself. Okay, so if I just give I, so because we are filling the data manually. Okay, so if I try to give here, it should not give a dump actually, and it can give because it's initialization only we are doing. So I think it should not give a problem. Okay, so save it and come back. Now if you'll see here, now we have some statement like write statement and performs and all those events you can put, just simply cut. Okay, and you can put it in F01. So here also we can write some condition like if data is available or is not initial, then only call for it. Okay, that's the reason we are getting that problem here. We mistakenly put it here. Okay, and then we can to use the perform statement over here. Just let's try to activate everything now. So we have these 1 2 3 and then demo program. Okay, so if I simply try to activate, it will activate the code, or if there is any error, we'll see what kind of error it is coming. So it's trying to activate the code now. It's taking a bit of time because all are data dictionary objects. Sorry, the report object or the DB object we call it. It is still taking some time. Let's wait for that. Yeah, it's got activated. Now simply execute this. Then we'll be getting our selection screen, right? That magnet. Okay. We are not using this magnet in the program, so simply if I execute, it will give me the print values over here, right? So that's how we can reduce the line of code when we are going to the program. Okay. Now let's suppose you have to debug your program. You are getting some error or some issues somewhere in the program. Okay. So you don't know where to go in the program and check the error or where is the issue. Okay. Sometimes you are getting dumped in the starting itself. So you can put your debugger over here. Okay. If I simply click here, what it says cannot be determined. Okay. So we can just simply click here because it's an introduction and the data type all we cannot put a debugger. That's the reason. So we can put the debugger here. Okay. Or if I come here, see here that says breakpoint is put for debugger, but it is not showing me. Let's create one debugger. Session breakpoint was set. Still, let's see if I simply execute it, whether it's going for debugging or not. So first, it is. Let me share my screen and the debug mode. It has given the breakpoint on the main program itself. Okay. If I simply press F5, it is gone inside the that include, and it is giving me the cursor over here. Okay. Then if we can go one by one, and then we can see the information in this info, and this will be available, right? So ABC is there, and then other value which is XYZ might come after the use. Okay. See here, it is calling the program. So it makes a go to block one by one, and then this much piece, okay, it's working fine. Then I think the next piece of code which we have written and another subroutine that might be failing. So it makes easy to read the code and do the debugging and see the sequence of the program. Okay. So mostly these are the things which we do in our when we are debugging the program, right? So if something is not working correctly or some issue is there, then that time we should do this. Okay. So that's how we use this include. If you want to just change some value of this include and don't want to come here in this, you don't know the program name or anything, simply you can go to SE38. Okay. And you can give the simply execute this include name and click on the display. From here also we can access this include. Okay. Because it is also one kind of program types, right? We have seen in that attributes tab that there are multi kind of programs are available. Set go to an attribute. So here we have multiple kind of types, so we'll be seeing one by one all those module pool, function group, subroutine, and yeah, these many we will see. Okay. So this is all, and it cannot be executed. Okay. And if it's execute like if you don't have main program, see it has main program, so it's why it's giving us the screen. If it does not have any main program available or only the include we have created for this, then this will not be executing, and because it's an include kind of type. Okay. So that's the reason. So these two things we have covered. Okay. So proteins and interface. So if you guys have any question, you can post your comment, or you can post in the group also. We can see that. Okay. If any doubt while creating this. And the next thing is function module. Okay. So function module is also one kind of technique to reduce the lines of code. Okay. Or repetitive work which you write code you are writing in the program. Okay. So that we can reduce it actually. Okay. So how we can reduce it, we'll take a small example actually. So let's suppose you have to create one program where you have to do the sum, you have to do the subtract, and you have to do the division. Along with that, you have to do the multiplication. Okay. So how we can use the function module? Okay. First, we'll see how much code we have to write, and then how much code we can reduce with a simple example. Okay. So I'll be just commenting this code for now because this is not being used, and we'll try to create a function module also. I think if time permits, we'll create it now itself. If not, then we'll create in the next session. Okay. So let's suppose we have to use what we have to use that we have to create some program that will take the inputs in the from the selection screen. Okay. So we'll create the select, or we'll create a parameter p underscore one. Okay. So which will I'll create a para one, p underscore parameter one, para one type I. Okay, we'll take one number and then we'll take the next number type I. So this is number two, and then we'll take a result. Okay, so we'll take a result type I. So now what we have to do is we have to do a plus minus or based on the selection parameter and based on the input we are getting. Okay, so I'll take one more parameter that what we have to do is, okay, so p underscore operation, okay, type C I'll take. So if we are going to do plus, then we'll just write plus. If you are going to do minus, then we'll use like that, we'll use in that parameter. Okay, then data is fine directly. Let's go to uh, result part. Okay, so result equals to uh, if, okay, we'll write some condition first. If then inside that we can write if p operator equals to what the value is plus, then what we have to do is result a plus b. Okay, so not a plus b, we have to do p1, and then because we have created two parameters, then para 2. Okay, and then we will write the result. Okay, write result. Otherwise, what can be the next one? The next one can be minus or multiplication. So we'll take three things, and divide will not take for now. And then we can see, we have learned this like how to give multiple condition, right? So else if we'll be using either it can be plus or it can be minus or it can be multiplication. And the next thing is else if, then the next one is multiplication. Okay, so if it is there, then what we have to do is we have to come to this piece of code, and then you have to write what you have to write is you have to write minus. Okay, if it is minus, then you have to do minus. If it is multiplication, you have to do a multiplication and solve the output. Okay, so let's try to run this code and see the output. See, this is a small piece of code we are writing. Okay, but it can be very big code also. So if I say 2 plus 2, okay, so if I simply execute, so result, we should not have taken the result parameter because we are going to write it. We can fill the value in this second also, so there's a way for that also. Okay, the value is 4. Okay, now let me remove the debugger is there in the program, and it will execute again and again. Activate. Oh, go away. Yeah, so now if we'll say 3 minus 2, the result will be 1. Still it is coming. Wait, 3 minus 2 is 1, so the output is 1. See, it is working fine. Okay, now if we'll do the multiplication, so 3 multiplied by 2, so the output should be 6. So the output is 6 over here. Okay, so it's working all fine. Okay, so now let's suppose we have some condition which is over here, and then we have to write the 1000 line of code over here, and then 1000 repetitive line of code over here, and then 1000. So total 3000 line will be there based on the these operations. Okay, or we can create the subroutines also, like to do the repetitive task. Okay, but here the operations are different, right? We are doing the plus, we are doing the minus, we are doing the multiplication. Okay, so for that we can create a function module. Okay, so what it will do is that we'll just give this we'll call it only once. Okay, and that time we don't have to write all these part of code actually. Okay, so that we'll see tomorrow how to create create the function module, how to give the parameters, how to which kind of function modules are available. So that we'll see in the next section. Okay. So if you guys have any question, you can post in your comment or just WhatsApp me. I'll see the comments and I'll help you to understand that part. Okay. So let's meet tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.